I've never been one to believe in superstitions, and this outlook has been beneficial for me in life. I view all supernatural phenomena as nothing more than fictional stories, albeit sometimes intriguing ones created for entertainment purposes. While I wouldn't classify myself as an atheist, I also don't have a strong devotion to any particular religion. I have no desire to spend my life adhering to orthodox or any other traditions. I believe in the importance of morality, but only when it's not intertwined with mystical or religious elements. For this reason, I've always attempted to interpret the events in my life in a purely logical manner. However, there is one peculiar incident that I would like to recount. The story is rather ordinary and happened to me a long time ago when I was 10 years old. Now, I am 35 years old. Like most boys in the countryside, my friends and I spent most of our time outside. We enjoyed going to the river and smoking in the bushes, but nothing could compare to exploring abandoned buildings. During our childhood, there weren't many abandoned structures, even though we lived in the Soviet and Perestroika era. However, we still managed to find a few old houses and dilapidated factories to explore. One day, we decided to settle in a 3-story building that had been waiting for demolition for several years. The building was in disrepair, with leaky roofs, a basement, and 3 entrances. On a lazy Sunday, we spent the entire day there, smoking and having fun without fear of being caught by adults. As the day progressed, we grew tired and sat down in one of the apartments on the 2nd floor. My older friends smoked pre-packed cigarettes, which I didn't find interesting, and they often made fun of us younger ones. I soon grew bored and decided to explore the building alone for the last time. As I mentioned earlier, I was never really drawn to mysticism, so I didn't feel any fear as I made my way down into the cellar. The building was quite old, so the basement was nothing like the modern ones we have today. Instead, it resembled a storage room for things like potatoes or old junk, with wooden partitions dividing it into several sections. There weren't many pipes, and the lack of electric lighting meant I couldn't go very far. However, there were several openings on the perimeter of the building that let in a decent amount of light, including one roughly at the level of the asphalt. This opening allowed enough light for me to walk along the walls of the basement and look around a few enclosed pockets. Unfortunately, they were all empty, and the wooden surfaces were covered in mold. Some of the floors were also rotten, revealing the earth beneath the boards. Despite the lack of interesting finds, I continued my exploration without fear or hesitation. All of the storage rooms had doors in similar conditions, with some hanging on a single hinge and others lying on the floor. However, one closet caught my attention as it was the only one that remained closed. As I approached it, I felt a pleasant sense of curiosity and excitement at the possibility of discovering something new. To my surprise, the door was locked, which only added to my intrigue. Initially, I planned to inform my friends and enlist their help in breaking the lock. But then, I found myself instinctively reaching for the lock and giving it a yank, almost turning away in disbelief that it could be so easy. In an instant, my heart raced with adrenaline as the lock came loose, with the hinge having given way due to the rotting wood. As the door creaked open slowly, like in the movies, I couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder at the mysterious contents within. It opened effortlessly, almost as if by its own accord, without me even touching it. As soon as the dim light from the street entered the room, my disappointment grew as I saw that it was empty. However, after a few moments, I noticed that the floor was in relatively good condition compared to the rest of the building. Upon closer inspection, I saw what appeared to be a door handle nailed to one of the boards. It suddenly dawned on me that it was a manhole cover, but I knew that none of my friends would have dared to open it. Despite the danger, something inside me urged me to explore further. I leaned my left hand against the wall and used my right hand to yank the lid open. The hatch stayed open for only a few seconds, but the images that I saw during that brief period were etched in my mind for years to come. I remember the dim light filtering through the dust and highlighting a black square of the hatch in front of me. Peering inside, I saw 4 children's faces huddled together, about 6 or 7 years old. Their faces were youthful, yet there was something uncanny about them that sent shivers down my spine. Despite their innocent appearance, there was a certain aura of darkness that surrounded them. Their expressions were grave, almost as if they were passing judgment on me for some wrongdoing. There appeared to be a girl among them. Their young faces were innocent, but there was something unchildlike about their demeanor. It was as if they carried the weight of an ancient knowledge. Suddenly, my fingers relaxed, and the hatch cover fell back into place with a loud thud. Before the cover closed, I saw the face of one of the children closest to me transform into a grotesque, animalistic grin. It was a chilling sight that sent shivers down my spine. It only took me 4 jumps to reach the 2nd floor, and when my friends saw me like that, they were also terrified. They thought that someone was chasing me, whether it be the police, construction workers, or our parents. We all ran away, and once we reached our yard, my friends started questioning me. They laughed and accused me of being afraid of the dark, but when I asked them to come and check with me, they all refused, insisting that there was no way they were going back there. I informed my dad about the incident that same night, feeling that an adult should check it out. Rather than scold me, he rushed to the district police officer's house, located next door. Along with 2 other men, they went down to the basement and checked the room. I was already asleep, but my rest was uneasy. The next morning, my father told me that the cellar was empty, with no trace of anyone. I asked him if it was possible that I imagined it all, and he told me that sometimes you can see things like that, but if you believe in yourself, you will never be afraid of anything. Those words stayed with me for the rest of my life and helped me through many situations. My father's authority helped me deal with the incident at the time, and as I grew older, I gradually forgot about it, attributing it to my imagination, amplified by the eerie atmosphere of the basement. I consider myself a successful person who has established a business providing a comfortable life for my family. My life revolves around material success, personal growth, and family values. I do not acknowledge the existence of anything mystical or supernatural around me, and my wife, Anya, who is religious, respects my beliefs. What matters most to me is the comfort and warmth of my family, whom I love dearly. However, there is one incident that I cannot forget. One night, I opened the door to my son's room to kiss him goodnight and was confronted by a horrifying sight. He was lying in bed with a grotesque, beastly grin on his face, and his stare seemed to ask if I recognized him. I did recognize him, and despite my love for him, I could not bring myself to kiss him goodnight. Although I tried to rationalize this incident, I cannot deny its existence. I choose to believe that my memory is playing tricks on me, and that it was nothing more than a strange occurrence. Despite this, every night before bed, as I hold my wife close, I thank the universe for giving me my beloved family.